Hi, everybody. My name is Mark McKenzie, and I am the Program Director for the UBC Family Practice Residency Program. Thank you very much for taking the time to help us with interviews. It is really, really appreciated. I know that many of you are volunteering time on the weekend, time that you could be spending with your family, with your friends, time that you may have previously committed to on-call obligations, and you may have had to phone up a bunch of favors in order to help us with interviews. So I just want to acknowledge the personal disruption that many of you have gone through in order to help us out, and to really thank you for that. If one definition of happiness is hard work done well, I hope that at the end of this process, you're happy with it, you feel that your time has been well spent, and that you feel that you have contributed to a really important job. And that important job is finding the best possible residents for our program, and by extension, the best possible family physicians for BC. So this is really important stuff. The interview process is different from last year, and it's important that you as an interviewer know why that's happened, because I know a lot of you are repeat volunteers and may find that this new experience is a bit jarring compared to what you're used to. Last year, the selection committee did a critical appraisal of our selection process and our interview process. We obtained some outside expert consultation and opinion in the area of admission and selection. We looked at the evidence within our program and also within the literature around selection and admission. And the recommendation of the selection committee was that we move to having multiple mini interviews, or MMIs, for all of our applicants, regardless of where they went to medical school. And in the past, this only applied, we had MMIs just for international medical graduates. For you as an interviewer, this is going to mean that you are tasked with a single question and a single station, and you have a relatively large group of residents rotate through that station for about 7 or 8 minutes at a time. You will have opportunity to score each applicant as they move from one station to the next. You may choose to do that directly into the software that's provided to you or for you. You may, if you're a Luddite like me, choose to record your scores on paper and then take opportunity at break time or at the completion of the interview sessions to enter it into the software. This process has to be pretty robotic. We want as consistent and neutral an experience as possible for all our applicants. And I think this may be the part of the experience that's most jarring for interviewers, because there was a perception in the old method that you had a chance to get to know an applicant, and you also had a chance to kind of personally welcome applicants to the program. We are really going to try to find ways during those interview days to make all our applicants feel really welcome and their efforts acknowledged and respected. But for the purposes of the interview, it's got to be a pretty robotic process and one with very little variance from applicant to applicant. So you will have a script. For fans of Apocalypse Now, never get out of the boat, never get off script. Just stick to the script and we should be okay. Try to make sure that there's no thumbs up or high fives that would give non-verbal indication to an applicant that they had really knocked it out of the park. Similarly, try to avoid eye rolls, exasperated sighs, looking at your phone, anything that might indicate to an applicant that they were really not doing well. Because, of course, those kind of impressions can be very off-putting and discouraging to applicants and really compromise the integrity of the process. There's some no-go zones. We cannot ask applicants about relationship status, about sexual orientation, about religious affiliation, financial situation, etc. If any of that information is volunteered, that cannot be entered into your assessment of the applicant. What can be entered into the comment box, if you feel appropriate, is if an applicant indicates a real interest in rural practice. And in that case, you can indicate that an applicant will be really suitable for a rural program. And maybe if an applicant says that they would really like to be at a certain site, it's fine to enter that into the comment box as well. There will be more detailed, granular information about the logistics of the MLI process on interview days. So any other questions you have, we can answer at that time. Again, I just want to really thank you very much for doing this. I hope that I have a chance to meet many of you over the course of the next few weeks. And make sure you give us lots of feedback. We can only get better at this if we know what your experience is like. So we look forward to that as well. Happy interviewing.